Aloha, I'm Kainoa Carlson from Gold House. Very excited to be talking to Stitch.
Aloha! Aloha!
A shooting star! I wish for a friend. Like a best friend.
What the hell?
Oh, hello!
Oh my gosh, I love the
Hello!
background.
Yeah, nice background.
I know, it's better than The Office one, I promise. But first of all, congratulations, you guys. So amazing.
Thank you. That means a
Very
lot.
cool. As a Hawaii boy, born and raised here, we know
Yeah.
everyone loves Lilo and Stitch, both from the Disney, Ohana, and especially here in the Pacific. As
Totally.
local girls, what does it mean to bring this story to the big screen?
It's such a big honor. I mean,
Yeah.
getting to like film a movie in Hawaii, which is home, it's like amazing. I don't think I've ever done something truly cool like that.
I think yes. I think on that too, I think when you get older, you'll also realize that
Yeah.
again too. It's kind of a surreal thing.
Like if we go back into the house when we're like 15, I'm gonna be like,
That was a
It's
cool
home.
experience.
I'm
Yeah.
home.
No, I think yeah, it's an absolute honor. I mean, how can you like ask for anything more than some like the dream job and being able to do it at home with, the people that you love,
Chris, I do want to start with you, though. Original voice back in 2002.
The only voice.
Yes, the only. And so what has this journey been like for you and over now these last 2 decades and being able to bring this live version?
When we made the original film, it was my fondest wish that it would really endure and that Stitch as a character would just pervade things and stay out there, and he has. And so for these last 20 years or 22, 3 years, it's actually very, very thrilling to see that he's just out there all the time, and more so now, I think, than ever before.
Tia, what about for you? Obviously, with your affinity and your connection here to this place that we all love, one of the really interesting things has been able to speak with a lot of people about coming onto the set and realizing just what Lilo and Stitch means to obviously the entire Disney Ohana, but people here in the Pacific.
Well, yeah, because it's the first time we saw people on screen that look like us. And, I remember girls saying, and women saying, I love that you're like the brown Disney princess with thick thighs. It's like to be celebrated like solid and sturdy and strong and not to fit into this Barbie doll vision of what the world should look like and beauties in all different shapes and sizes. And so from that to being messy and being, bumbling your way through stuff, but somehow the family pulling together and prevailing over any sort of difficulties. I love that. And, Ohana and Hanai family and all that stuff, that we don't have to even be related by blood to be a family.
I'm a born and bred Hawaii guy. And I remember when the original Lilo and Stitch was released back in 2002. And so for the both of you, now 23 years later, did either of you guys kind of have an understand, like just what Lilo and Stitch obviously means to so many people, but especially people here in Hawaii and throughout Polynesia?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I saw the movie, probably not immediately. I saw the movie when it came out in theaters. I was in high school. And, as we've continued as we started talking about it and started working with, Hawaiians as part of our creative process, I think that became very, very apparent. And it felt like this was such a great opportunity to sort of continue that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I knew as well until, honestly, we hired our Hawaiian screenwriter, Chris Bright, whose mom was the choir director for the Kamehameha schools on the first movie and on our movie. So you sort of realized how the movie was sort of part of his life, and then you started realizing it was part of so many people's lives on the island for a very long time. So I think that's when I sort of realized, there actually really is an obligation we have to get this right. And that's when we started to bring on sort of as many consultants as we could for everything from food design in the movie to hula to pigeon to, there's a specific consultant for almost every element to make sure we were talking to as many people as we could in the community to try to get it right.
Yeah, Chris's mom, Linnell, is sort of known as like Mrs. Stitch at the Kamehameha schools, and her van is like covered in Stitch stuff. So we were like, we gotta bring her back, man.
Look like an angel.
No. Control him. Hey, what are you doing?
Talk like an angel.
No. Dog's on the table.
You sure that's a dog? breath.
There's some hardcore water scenes. Featured throughout the film. How was that for you?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, I was able to do a lot of my stunts, and I know that doesn't always happen. And we did a lot of water training at the beginning for pre-production before we started filming, and we got to work with, I don't know if you know the Kealanas, but they're like a big surfing family and a big waterman family, and you know, they're legends. So I was absolutely humbled and grateful, and our stunt coordinator Marcus Young was very, very helpful in being able to cultivate an environment that we felt safe to do all that stuff. And I truly felt like I was able to enjoy my childhood all over again, and I properly learned how to surf, and then I learned how to like do breath techniques and stuff, and you know, filming the rock running scene was unlike nothing I've ever experienced.
I was watching that thinking, wow.
Dude, it was so, I mean, it's changed my life. So, I mean, it was so cool. And we all kind of shared that win that day. I came in from the water, and they were like, and they had like gotten the shot that the sun hit at the right moment and everything with the water. And then we came out and they were like, dude, like, and we were like, did we get it? Dude, we get it. Like, it was awesome. Oh my gosh, it was so cool.
Courtney, your character is very interesting. It goes through an interesting character arc throughout the film. What are you hoping that people take away, Courtney?
Well, I have an interesting arc because I start out with the voice and the person of authority, and we're going to get this Stitch thing and put him away. But then we find out there's extenuating circumstances, and eventually it becomes about the family. And which speaks to all of us, family and all of us, and whatever that means for all of us. And that's what touches my heart. And I think I start cheering for the family and Stitch being part of the family, which is an unusual kind of family, but it is family nonetheless. And he actually learns the word and what it means, more importantly. So I was very grateful for having that arc, that the person starts one way and ends up another, and actually part of the family himself. So it's a wonderful thing.
Jonathan, I wanted to touch on what you spoke on just a little bit ago. We saw, especially in that first one, obviously the themes with Aloha, but I feel like we really saw a lot of authenticity with, even when it came to the writing, with things like Kuleana and Tutu and these very curated, like important themes throughout the film. Why was that such an important part as well?
Yeah, I think, again, bringing it into a live action world, I think there's a different experience when you're seeing human characters than there is in the animated movie. And again, I think that was sort of the opportunity here. You know, I don't think we would have done it if we didn't think there was something new and sort of added depth to bring to it. So then once you actually have cast, these actors, and you are talking to people in the community about like what matters, you know, even our screenwriter, he had the idea for Tutu because he had sort of said, he was like, I just don't know on the island if two sisters like this lost their parents. He's like, there would be neighbors, there would be a community around them that would reach out to help. So we actually adjusted the character of Nani in our movie, that she's really more struggling with the notion of, she's trying to prove she can do it all on her own, and she's trying to take on this burden. And then by the end of the movie, you sort of see that she allows others to help her. And that's sort of more of her journey. But it was really important for him to sort of show that the community would be there for you. So I think it was always just reaching for authenticity with these characters, because I think that's what we're going to connect to emotionally the most.
I saw in an interview that you did anywhere between 12 to 15 auditions before landing LILO. What was that moment like for you and your ohana when they called you and they're like, Maia, you're gonna be LILO, girl?
Did you really? Did you do that many?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. I was so excited. My whole ohana wasn't there, but my dad and my mom was over there. When they heard it, they're like, wait, did they say that she is LILO or that she's going to be LILO? Because they actually...
we need one more audition.
They actually said, oh, we actually need one more audition from you. So I got ready. I got my scripts on the side. My mom has a script over here.
Oh, yeah. They told us we had another audition, and they told us that we got the role instead.
Yeah, so once everyone got on, they're like, okay, so we're going to want you to do something. I'm like, okay, would you like to be LILO? I'm like, okay. what? What do you mean? What? And I started crying. I started crying because since I wasn't crying like directly like that, I thought they meant like, can you act out LILO again? Like, can you do the script? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, do they actually mean that I'm LILO? And then they're like, yeah, you're LILO.
And
I'm
you
like,
killed it.
I'm so happy and so honored to be filming in my home culture. Yeah.
What are you hoping that people take away from this version of Lilo and Stitch?
I hope that we've done justice to those same themes of Ohana and sort of your found family. And then I also think that we've updated it and colored it with a little bit more nuance in terms of like kind of refocusing it a little bit more around what Stitch says at the end, which has always been one of my favorite lines. That this is my family. It's little and broken, but still good. I would say that there's a slight difference. Like ours is a little bit more informed by that theme than the original. I hope people take away kind of the beauty of the collectivist culture of Hawaii and. Everybody, this world could use a little bit more people showing up for their community, I would say.
Chris, can I ask you before we go, can you invite everyone to come see Lilo and Stitch, please?
Oh yeah, you should go see Lilo and Stitch. It's a good way to keep yourself occupied and see something that's really nice about families and fun and love. And Ohana.
You guys both absolutely killed it. That's all the time I have, but you guys, congratulations. Ho mai kai, everyone in Hawaii.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hope to see you again. No, I'm gonna give you to the count of 3, Stitch. 1.